Okay, fundamentals of Python, strings and text files. That's chapter 4. So let's go into it. Okay, I'm recording, right? So we will look at these things in this chapter. Access individual characters in a string, retrieve a substring from a string, search for a substring in a string. So we will discuss these three today. Okay, maybe half of this part, and we will do that next time. Okay, so we examine the internal structure of a string more closely. You will learn how to extract portions of a string called substring. Okay, so let's look at this. The structure of strings. If you think about it, when you look at an integer, okay, if I give you an integer, you really cannot break this into smaller pieces, right? But if I give you a string, you can. So that's what this means. An integer can't be factored into more primitive parts. Okay. A string, on the other hand, is a data structure, and it contains smaller pieces of data, and in this case, individual characters. So a string is different from an int, a boolean, a double, etc. Think about a double. You cannot extract another. You cannot divide it into more pieces, right? This is already a double. You cannot divide it, and this is already an int. There is not another primitive type in it. However, if you look at the string, let's look at this string. Hi there, right? You can, in this string, there is a data type called char in it. Okay, a character. Each one is a character. That's what this means. So we call this a data structure. It's actually a structure. That might not make much sense right now. It's more of the object concept. But okay, just know a string is a data structure. It is composed of individual characters. And in this chapter, we are looking into how to dissect a string. Okay, so a function is a name that represents code that solves a logical task. We will talk about function and write functions in chapter 5. So what is a function? A function is a name. Behind that name, there is a chunk of code that will do things. Okay, so here is an example of a function, len. I use bold so that you know it's a function. Okay, the len function returns the string's length. That means it gives you the string's length. Okay, let's look at this. Len, that's a function. To use a function, you always have to have the parentheses. Okay, so len is the function name, followed by the parentheses, and inside, this is called an argument. Okay, an argument, that's the value you want to perform on. So len, hi there, you want the length of this argument, and it will give you 9. Okay, so let me, let's do another example here. Okay, so we can say len, right? That's the function name. And inside you can say, you can put a string there, and then it will give you the length of the string. There are 2 characters, so the length is 2. And here, there are 9 characters if you count. Okay, so let's count. Let's count this. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Remember, space is a character. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's the length. Okay, and here, length, this is empty. There is nothing. So it says 0. Okay, so if I say len, that will give you 0. But if you say this is a space, it will give you 1. That's the difference. Any questions? Okay, you
This
try
only works in the Python shell.
I'm sorry?
This only works in the Python shell.
There is only one what, Sarah?
This only works in the Python shell.
No. It works anywhere in the IDE, IDLE. It works everywhere.
Not
Okay.
working in mine. Is there something else I'm supposed to type?
You are which one are you using? Are you using this?
So I brought up the shell and I open up a new file. Correct. So whenever I typed in like Lynn.
Oh, okay. I see. The
won't.
reason is this will give you the length of the string because this is interactive. So it immediately shows. But if you do it here, it will not do anything. Why? Because you are not printing it out. And this is a file. So let me save it. That's a very good question. And I want to tell everybody about this. This is good. Okay, so if I run this one, nothing will show, right? Why? Because this is an expression. We call it an expression, and it gives you back something. For example, if you do 2 equals to 3, okay, that's a Boolean expression, right? When you run, nothing happens. But if you do it here, this is interactive. It gives you the result. Does that make sense, everybody? Sarah?
Yes, thank you.
Yes. Okay, so that's the difference. Here, it treats it as a script. And if you don't give the directive that I want it to be outputted, then it won't do anything because it's an expression. So if you want to see the result, you have to do this. Can I do this? I don't know if I can do this. Yeah, I can actually just print out the value of that expression. So that expression will give you a value and you are printing it out. So you can do this.
So if you were to.
Okay, now it should give you, oops. I need to end it, right, everybody? Okay, so now it gives you 1. That's the difference. Okay, so if you're using this, you need to print it out. Otherwise, it gives you a value, but you didn't capture it. Here, because it's an interactive shell, it immediately gives you the value. Just now, someone asked a question. What was the question? Go ahead.
So if you were to, let's say, if you were to, let's say, put a custom input, would it be something like in I equals input dot quote quote print len I?
I hear you, Omkar. You are breaking off intermittent, so I didn't even hear the first part of the question.
Should I say it again, or?
Yeah, say it again.
If you were to do a custom input, would it be I equals input print len I?
I don't know what you meant. No. Are you still talking about this print and the expression?
How to do it customly?
What do you mean by custom? You mean user input?
Yeah.
Well, you can, okay, input, right? Okay, so let's run. This is what you meant, right?
Something like this, but getting the length of a custom input, of a user input.
Okay, so you can see that it printed out, right? You enter something, and that something you entered will be printed out. So this is the prompt. It will show, and it waits for you to enter. And you enter 34, and immediately, let me finish, and you enter something there, and then the returned value will be printed out. Okay, that's that. Does that answer your question?
No, but never mind.
Okay.
Forget about it.
Okay. So this is this. Okay. Now let's look at this. I need to erase that. Okay. So here, another thing we need to understand is because this is a string, okay, each character in the string has a position, and this always starts at position 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And notice that the last character is at position 8. Okay, so you have to wrap your mind around this concept, because I find that a lot of students get confused about this. The length is 9, because if you count the characters, there are 9 characters. If you count, there are 9 characters. But when you look at the position, or we call index, of each character, we always start from 0. So this position is 0, not 1. And this is 1, this is 2. And the last one is always 1 less than the length, because we start from 0, right? So don't confuse the length with the position. The position always starts at 0. The length is the number of characters, okay? That's something you need to remember. So if I ask you, if I write something here, let's see, tomorrow, I like tomorrow because tomorrow is another day. So tomorrow, okay, I'm going to ask you, what's the length? If I do len tomorrow, what is the returned value here?
8.
8.
8, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's correct. If I ask you, what's the position or index of key?
0.
0, everybody. Remember, that's the difference, okay? This position is 0. What is this position?
7.
7. Very good. 7. Okay. But the length is 8. So that's the difference. Index versus the length. And the last index is always 1 less than the length. So the length is 8. The last character is at 7. The length is 9. The last character is at 8. Position 8. Okay. That's that. Any questions so far? Okay, so that is the length function. You can use that to tell you the string. Okay, let me do another example. So I will ask string str is equal to input enter a string, okay, or enter a piece of text. So I will enter something tomorrow, right? Okay, and then I can use this to test what is the length of that string, right, everybody? So this will give you 8. Okay, and you can also print it out, right? Len string. So you not only can test the length of a literal value, okay, you can also test the length of a variable. That's what I'm trying to illustrate. Okay, any questions? Okay. So now let's look at the subscript operator. Subscript operator, subscript, that is the position. Okay, the form of the subscript operator will return the character at the specified index. It is a string followed by this, and inside is an integer expression. So look at this. Name, this is a string, Alan Turing. All of you know who this is, right? Everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. Okay, who is he?
Isn't he the Turing test, the AI, to
Yes.
see whether or not, yeah.
Yes, Alan Turing. He is also the
Other computer science.
yes, he is a computer scientist, and he is the code breaker during the Second World War. Yes, okay. And there is a movie about him, Imagination or Imitation Game. Or
I think, yeah, it has like Benedict Cumberbatch in it or something
yes,
like
yes,
that.
yes. That's the movie about him, and eventually he died, committed suicide, I think, by
Because of
eating a poisonous
homosexuality.
apple, right?
Homosexuality.
For what, Omkar?
Homosexuality.
Yeah. Let me stop this. Okay, Alan Turing, and name sub-zero, I call it sub, right? Subscript. So name sub-zero. So this will give you it's a subscript operator here. And notice this is the syntax, the string, and the subscript operator. The subscript operator inside is an integer expression. So it can be an integer, it can be 2 plus 3, an expression also. Okay, so this will give you A because that's the first character. And this one, subscript 3, if you count 0, 1, 2, 3, so that will give you N, okay? And name, len name, that will give you what? What's the length of this string?
It is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
11, right? This will give you 11. 4 plus 6, and this one, 11. So the length of name, this will give you 11. That's what this means. An integer expression, everybody. This will give you an integer. This is an expression, right? A function call, it returns you an integer. So it will give you 11. But if you look at this subscript, the first one is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This last one would be 10. So when you do this, it will not compile. It will say index error, string index out of range. That means it doesn't have index 11. The last one is 1 less than the length, which is 10. Okay, so this is an often made mistake, everybody. You think the length is 11, then I want to get the last character, it is 11. No, it's always 1 less than the last character, and this is how you express it. This will give you 11, right? And minus 1, that will give you 10. That is the last character here. And another way to express, okay, let's do some examples first. I don't want to overwhelm you. Okay, let's do some example, right? Why did I do that? How do I start the shell? Python shell. Okay. So, so if I say string is equal to hello world, right? Okay, that's the classic greeting from the very first computer, the very first code program. Okay, so if I do this, that's the subscript operator. If I do 2, what does it give me? What will be
An L.
L, very good, L, right? Okay, so I can do this, oops, this one, right? Okay, what about what does this give me?
An error.
Error.
An error. This will give you an error, everybody. Let's look at this. Okay, this is the name. This is the string right here. That's the string. Oops. That's the expression string. And this is the integer expression. And here the integer expression is the length of this string. That's how you understand it. This will give you an error because the last character will always be one less than the length. So you will do this. That will give you the length. Oh, wrong. Right? That will give you the length. It will be always be one less. So, okay. Oh, what's wrong? Oh, I did the wrong syntax, everybody. It should be like this. Okay, so, okay, look at the syntax, everybody. It is a little bit tricky, but you just need to go slowly and look at this. This is the string itself, right? I said string is hello world, the string itself. And this is the subscript operator, right? The subscript operator. Within it, within the subscript operator, it should be an integer expression. And len str will give you the length. You minus 1, it will give you the last position, right? That will give you that. Any questions? Okay. So that's that. Okay, I will erase this. Okay, and another way to do this is using this -1. That's a 1. That doesn't look like a 1. That looks like an L. I think I mistyped it. It should be a 1. Okay, -1. That means the last character. -2 is the last but one character. So when you say name subscript -1, that gives you the last character here. And name subscript -2, that gives you the second from the last one. That's what that is, okay? So if you do, that will give you that. So some of you might say, why do we go through the trouble to do this? This expression, okay, this doesn't exist in other languages. This exists in Python. This is how you do it in Java or C++. So just so that you know. Okay, but in Python, yes, so this is that. And you can do this -2, right? That will give you the second from the last character. Okay, that's what that is. Any questions? No questions? Okay, let's look at this program then. Okay, let's look at this program. Subscript operator is useful when you want to use the positions as well as the characters in the string. Use a count control loop. Okay, data is high there. And then use a for loop. You don't think that we finished chapter 3, for loop and while loop and if else are gone. They are used all the time. So here, for, that's the keyword. Index, that's just a variable. You already know that. In, that's the keyword. Range, this will give you back a list, right? Range, len data. What does this give you, everybody?
It's going to give you the total length of hi there.
Yes, and this is, that's 5, 6, 7, right? Okay, 8, no, 9. Why did I count around? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Okay, this will give you 9, right? Okay, so len data will give you 9. So basically you are saying for index in range 9, okay? And then print, let's see what we are printing. Print index. So index will range from 0 to 8, right? So remember, this will give you a list, which is like this: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The last one. It's 9 here, but 9 is not included. So that's the list. It will go through that. Okay, so index will change from 0 to 1 to 3, and that's the index, right? Okay, that's the index. And data index. So the first time it's data sub 0, the second time it's sub 1, the third time is sub 2. So data sub 0 is H. Data sub 1 is I, etc. Data sub 2 is empty space. Do you understand this, everybody? Any questions?
Data.
No questions? Okay, let's see. 4, okay. I will say C in range. So we will say len string, right? Okay, so this will give you, I forgot what is it? Whatever that is. This will give you that length, right? And in that range, so. And print, let's print out the index, which is this variable, which is C. And here we used, just to give you different perspective, here we used index. Whatever you use here, right? That's the number, that's the value. Okay, C. And I also want to print out each character. So that's the string, right? Okay. And each character is represented by that value, that position. And I will just do this. Do you remember this, right? Okay, let's see. So it will print out 0 is H, 1 is E, and 2 is L, 3 is L, etc. Okay, that's how this works. Any questions? Okay, if we don't use this, then we just close it, right? And print it out just like this. Okay. Okay, any questions about this, everybody? Look at the for loop. Okay, let's look at this and then we will do some exercises. You know what, before we do that, we can go to, let me see, page 106, right? Let's go to page 106 and do some, when you talk about the string, anything within the double quotes is a string. So with my program .exe, okay, exe, does the period, is the period part of the string? Yes, it's a character. So what's len data parents?
Let me count it.
Yes, okay, yes, okay, let's go back. So now let's look at this one, okay. Just be ready, I'm going to call you, everybody, okay? So name, this is the string, right? And this dot is a character, everybody. A space is a character, a dot is a character. Okay, as long as it's within the double quotes. So this is the name for this string, the variable name for this string. And when we do this, this means we start from 0 and go all the way to the end. This colon means that. Starting from 0, go all the way to the end. So basically, it's the whole string, right? Every time I have to do that because it goes so. Okay, so let's say my string is equal to, once again, tomorrow is another day. Okay, so if I do my str start from 0, go all the way to the end, this simply means starting from 0, go all the way to the end. And that's the whole string. But if you do 5, I don't know what it will be, but it will start from 5. Let's see, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Row is another day, which is pretty good. At least it's a word. It will start from 5, character 5, which is the 6th character, go all the way to the end. That's what that is. Any questions? Okay, then you can, this is called string slicing, everybody. If you look here, this is slicing, right? This is called string slicing. That means you're getting a substring of the whole string, a substring, right? You use the colon in the subscript. Okay, so another way to do this is you have a substring, not go all the way to the end. So this one, 0, you start from 0 and go to 1, but not include 1. That's why it gives you just that, the first character. This first index is included, the second index is not included, okay? So here, if I say my string, the first index is included, the second one is not included. What will this give you? Everybody?
The R and O.
The R.
R, yes.
R.
Okay, yes. Okay, so what about this? How many characters will you have here?
2.
2 characters, 10,
Number 10
11.
and number 11.
Yes, yes. And it will give you S and the space, right? That's how you do that substring. Any questions, everybody? Okay, so if I want the substring of another, if I just want another, how do you do that?
Uh, 12 bracket 11,
So it'll be 13.
11.
Where will it start, everybody?
13 till 21.
13,
I hit 13 till 20.
13 to 20.
String 11, 19.
Everybody, work on it. Where do we start? I don't think it's
12
13.
to 18.
12, everybody. Remember, this is 12, right? That's not included, and this is S space. So that means this is 11, and so this is 12. Where do we end?
19.
19, okay. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Are you
20.
sure?
20.
20, yes, 20. Remember the last one, oh, no, Omkar, you were right. I didn't count it correctly then, 19. The last one is not included. Just remember that. This is just an exercise of that. Okay, okay, that's that. And you understand this, right? You understand this. And look at this one. Okay, this one, that means the entire string starts by default. If you don't have a value, the default starting point is 0. Just like this one, if you don't have a value, the ending point is the end of the string. And here, without a starting point, the starting point is by default 0. Okay, so Why don't we have to do len name minus 1? Let me ask you that question. That's a good question. Why?
Because it's not included.
Yes, that's very good, Omkar, because it's not included. Okay, so right, minus string. Because the last index is not included, everybody. So this is the string it gives you, right? Starting from 0 to the last character, to the length, but the length is not included. So it would be length minus 1. That's exactly where the last character ends. Do you all have any questions about this? Let me ask you once again, why is it not len my string minus 1? I'm going to ask other students. Can answer that question. Okay, Sarah, why is it not len my string minus 1?
Because you want the exclamation point?
I'm sorry?
Is it because you want the explanation point?
Because I want the explanation point. For this expression, it's basically you're asking for the whole string, right?
Correct.
You start from 0 to all the way to the end. My
Correct.
question is, remember the last character is at length minus 1, right? It's always 1
Right.
less than the length. Why do we not do length my string minus 1? That's my question.
So you get the whole thing? Because minus 1 would only be the explanation point?
Okay. Eugenio?
Well, if you put the -1, everything will type out tomorrow's another day without the exclamation point.
Yeah, why is that?
You put the -1 on string.
Okay, Amka answered, Caitlin answered, Marilyn. Young.
Oh, I don't know the reason, but like it would be kind of awkward if you put 0 in the left and -1 value to the right. But like if you ask me the reason, then I would say maybe that's not working, you know.
That's not a valid reason, Young. It's a nice answer, but no, no, Kobe. Am I still recording? That me?
Yeah, you are.
Okay. So the reason is the second index is not included. The first index is. Okay. Now let's look at the next one. Okay. The next one is name minus 3. Why does it give you this, everybody? Look at the syntax. Can you explain why it gives you this txt? Why? Given this, or I will just do it here. If I do this.
Because
No, I did it wrong. Give me a minute. Okay, I want a range, right? No, that would be from the beginning. So, right? Okay, so that's what this is. Yes. Okay. Tell me why it gives me this. Anyone who can explain that? I'm going to, instead of having you answer, once again, it's always those 2 or 3 students who are answering. So I'm going to go with my roll call. Mike. Why do you think negative? That's correct. -3 is the beginning index, right? And it is the third character from the last position. So the beginning index go all the way to the end. Okay, good. The next one, name 2 to 6. So let's do another one. Just this is easy to understand, right? What does that give you? Jordan.
It starts from the 4th character
Mm-hmm.
and
stops on the 7th character, but not including the 7th character. So it'll only count 4, 5, and 6, which is
So what are the characters?
2, 3.
They are here.
R, and a O.
Yes, yes, very good. Okay, very good. Okay, everybody, that's that, right? So let's continue with our exercise. So now looking at this, what does D give you? You never know when I'm going to call you, everybody, so be on alert, okay? You cannot see my screen. I don't think you can see my screen. So I have you there. I'm just going to call you. So D, what will that give you? Ariel.
I don't think
Yes, because the first index is included. The second index is not included. I'm doing this, you might think, why do you take so much time to just stress that thing? Everybody, when you answer a question, I give you that analogy, right? You, first of all, you want to answer it completely. You caught that? That's correct, right? 5 to 9. Okay, let's look at the next one. Truncate the extension XC from data. So, but it means give me my program. That's what it means, right? Truncate the extension .xc from data. So, okay, anyone? No, not anyone. Okay, so this is the correct answer, right? Go from the beginning all the way to the 4th character from the last one. That will give you my program. Truncate simply means cut off from that expression, from that data. Okay, the next one is extract the character at the middle position from data. This one might take a little bit time. I will not ask you to do, okay, I'm going to pause. Okay, I will just say for this one, Justin, for this one, it will give you the correct answer, right? But what if data refers to something else? That's the problem. If data refers to, today we have a class in the morning, then the middle character would not be what this index gives you.
Okay.
So this is applying to this specific case, but not all the time. What if I change my program to something else, right? That's the problem. So, okay, everybody, this is correct. Okay, so it's very complicated. Okay, so no. Go back.
Okay. I thought you were done.
Okay, so, okay, highlight that line, Yang. Yes, okay, everybody, let's look at this. So data, that's the variable, right? Whatever is in the variable, we don't care, it doesn't matter. That's what I'm trying to say. You have to make it work in whatever the data, whatever the content of data is. So subscript, the subscript symbol operator, right? The 2 square brackets, and then len, the data's length divided by 2, that will give you the middle. 2 data's length divided 2 by 1. Okay, because remember the second index is not included. So basically you are looking at the middle. And you cast it into an int because length data divided by 2 will give you a float, right? That 1 divide sign will give you a float. So that's why you cast it into an int. So this is correct. Don't go away. I want everybody to look at this. If you want to take a picture, go ahead. But this is correct. However, there is an easier way to do this. So Yang, very good work. This is great. It's correct. And you remember to cast it into int. Okay, stay there. Let me just explain this more. Think about it. If your length of the variable is 5, 5 divided by 2 gives you 2.5. And then you will cast it into an int, convert it into an int that will be 2, right? It will be 2. And then the second one will be 2 plus 1, 3. So you are getting the character at 2, which is the third character. That's how this works. Okay. Okay, Yang, I will let you go. Anyone, I didn't record this part, but do you all understand that, everybody? That is Yang's code. Okay. Length divided by 2, converted into an int, and length divided by 2 plus 1. This is not included, so it gives you that character. Okay. So that's that. Okay, so if you look at the difference, this will give you the float division, right? The correct decimal places with the decimal places. This is integer division. That's what Kyle was saying at the beginning, you know, the 2 different divisions. This gives you quotient. This will give you the exact quotient. I don't know how to say it. That's the division. This gives you only the quotient. This got all the decimal places. So if you do this, then you do not need to cast it into int. And Yang did an excellent job because he think of, oh, I should cast it into an int because this requires an integer index. That's very good. That's excellent. And this is excellent also because you do not actually need that int, need to cast it. If you use this type of division, everybody, right? This is integer division. And this is correct. Okay, what is a even simpler way to do this? I would say you don't even need this because you just need 1 character, right? Just 1 character, that's the middle index. So everybody, this is the easiest way to do it. Just divide by 2, the middle index is the middle character. That gives you the middle index. Very, very good. I like both. Both are absolutely correct. And I like this one the best because it's much simpler, right? Okay, okay, everybody. So we are done with that one, right? So let's see. Should we do this one? Assume, let's see. Assume that the variable myString refers to a string. Write a code segment that uses a loop to print the characters of the string in reverse order. Can you do this? So that's the last one. For OO
Yes.
in range, len myString print OO. That is the number myString OO minus 1. Okay, okay. That's good. I didn't think of doing it that way. Let's look at it. Let's run. Okay, so my program, when you print it out.
Oh, yeah. I see the
Okay.
problem now.
Okay, you see the problem. For each in range, thank you. Yes, thank you so much. Okay, for each in range, len myString minus 1, minus 1, minus 1. That's absolutely correct, and print it out. And everybody look at this. Brandon, I will, instead of me explaining it, I will let you explain it. Oh, Brandon, you lost your voice. Okay. Okay, so len myString minus 1, this is length of my string will give you the whole length. Minus 1 will be the last character, right? The position for the last character. That's the beginning index. The ending index is -1, but it's excluded. So what's the ending index? 0. And you step down, so you're -1. That's why this works. Okay, so once again, you begin from the last character. What is the last character? Len myString -1. And then you want to end at 0 because 0 is the first character. because this index is not included, you use -1. That's the one after a 0, and you are stepping down, so it's -1. Okay, very good, Brandon, very good, thank you. Kyle, let's look at yours. Okay.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's the same logic. I would do it this way also. Yeah, let's try it.
I was having a few issues in the past. There you go.
Okay, very good, very good. That's correct, right, everybody? Yes, that's what it says, to print the characters of the string in reverse order. Very good. Reverse string. Oh, well, you are printing it out, right? However, it's asking you to not print it out. Let's look at it. It says, write a loop that adds the characters from my string to reverse string. So you need to make a new string, which is called reverse string. And you have to reverse it. Exactly.
One at the start for reverse string. You got to initialize it first, or it's just gonna, I think it's gonna goof off.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes, everybody. Reverse string, you initialize it. That's very important. Otherwise, you don't have it, right? Initialize it to empty string. And then this code is, move that a little bit so that we can look at the code. Kyle, move this. No, no. Move
I'm just trying to
this
figure out
on the
why
side so that we can look at the code. Yes, okay. Okay, so if you look at it, you are reversing the string, you are printing it out in reverse order, but you are adding that each character to reverse string, right? My string char is the variable in the for loop. So you are just adding each character from the end to the beginning to reverse string, and then you print it out. Yeah, enter something, let's run it. Yeah, okay. Very good. That's the reversed string. He is just adding on to the previous problem solution. Yes, very good. Thank you, Kyle. This one is without the previous problem. This is a brand new one. So you declare string and you add each character to it. Everybody look at for each in range. And then reverse string plus equal to my string. This is called string concatenation. You are adding each character to the string. Okay. Yeah, let's run it. Oh, this is a palindrome. Enter something else. It's a palindrome, so it prints out exactly the same thing. Yes, very good. Okay. Okay, everybody, look at the answer. That's absolutely correct. This answer. Okay. Okay.